राम जय राम जय जय राम ओ श्री 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 राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम जय जय राम श्री राम
I thought nobody would be there. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Welcome back. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam, Pranam, Pranam. Eh?
We want
Your
the
tour,
explanation.
that yatra.
You have been hearing,
Satsang.
somebody was recording it and playing. They must have been playing here. Hari Om, Hari Om. You can ask what is to be shared.
Swamiji, about your US trip.
How was your US trip, yatra?
Everywhere by Papa's grace, everything went off. As if when we were in school, there was a game called relay. Somebody will carry the baton. Up to some level, somebody will go, then hand over the baton, the other person will take the relay. Similarly, from Ashram to Mumbai, Mumbai to London, and then London to in different places, and from there to US, from New York to Connecticut, Connecticut to Dallas, Dallas to Riverside, Riverside to Seattle, Seattle to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh back again to New York, New York again, back again to London. There are also two, three places, and finally to Bombay, and from Bombay to Ashram, and now we are before you. Everywhere it has been beautifully organized.
Jet lag is over.
Eh?
Jet lag.
Pardon?
Jet lag is over.
Jet lag is
Oh,
over.
it did not trouble us much, excepting on the last day,
Yes, yes.
because everywhere the travel was during daytime, and a number of devotees, old devotees as well as new devotees, we had the great fortune of seeing them, remembering the old days, and sharing many things about Papa Mataji, Swamiji's approach to spirituality. Everywhere it was blissful, and there was question answer session. That was also very, very interesting. Papa taught us so many things during this 45 days trip, in the form of satsang, in the form of question answers, and the love and affection, meticulous affection poured on us by all, one and all. Something, and it cannot be put in words. Unimaginable, we should say. And he saw to it that we don't get any major problem at all throughout this 45, in spite of the fact that there is a change of place, change of time, change of water, change of food. But still, there was absolutely no problem. Everything was blissful. Everything was blissful. Everywhere, everywhere.
How was your health, Swamiji?
Hmm?
How is your health?
Health is all right, excepting on the day, on the last leg of the journey, that is from London to Bombay, that was during the night, and we couldn't sleep, though they have made all arrangements for our stretching the hand, to lie down, everything was there. So, but still we couldn't sleep. Because of that, for 1 or 2 days we were finding it little tired. Otherwise, no.
When was the satsang with the Deepak, Swamiji?
Huh?
You met Deepak also, no?
Huh?
We met Deepak. We went to his home. We went to his home, Jalpa, children. At night about 10 o'clock, there was a satsang in our Shraddha's brother's house, Dhiren. And they had come there. We had bhajan, Ramnam, as well as satsang session. Everything was over by 10:30. But then we were told that Deepak is staying nearby. He and the entire family had come there for satsang. Then he said, can you come? We said, okay. At 10:30 we went to his
I saw
home.
them in a picture. I saw them.
She signed the
saw the
picture.
photo. She saw the
Ah,
photo.
acha, acha, acha. Very nice, very nice. We had very nice.
And I was listening.
And in New York we met Brindaji and Teja. Many, they take, unlike India, I would say each state is a country, very vast. But still people took pains to come all the way, driving all the way, or flying all the way. Even from Canada they came for the Seattle workshop. Everywhere it was very good. People had come from different places, taking a lot of pain, 3 hours drive, 2 hours drive, just to spend about 2 hours. So Papa is keeping the flame alive everywhere. It was so nice. But we should all think that all these things are external. A time has come in our life when we have to go inward. The external aids are necessary to keep it aflame, because God has given us various avenues for activity. We forget that God has given that activity and we merge ourselves in that activity, feeling the disconnection between us and God. But now the time has come that we should all try to bring out some method, some formula by which we try to connect ourselves with Him. Not to be carried away by what is happening outside us. Not that we are belittling the importance of the outside sadhana, but the outside sadhana should enable us to ultimately go within. And Papa specifically mentioned that we have to go within first, then without. Because otherwise we will be seeing them everything as, if now for example we went to this tour. Suppose we treat it as people were loving, people were taking care of, people were coming forward to do that, then the whole charm is gone. But if we see that God who is behind everything, who willed it that there should be an occasion for us, all of us, to think about Him intently, then He gave the similar prompting to all these people. And so, when they were given this prompting, what came out of them was their sincere love, their dedication, their meticulous care and concern, as well as attentively hearing, going through the whole thing, placing before us certain questions which are absolutely necessary for our own clarification. If we treat it the finger of God behind everything, then the without has got validity. But if otherwise, if we see from person to person, then no doubt it gives us a joy. But as a spiritual aspirant, as a bhakta, we will not be able to derive much benefit because after some time the entire thing gets evaporated. Everybody will be preoccupied with their own. But if we find that He made us to think, He made us to talk, He made us to hear, He made us to dwell upon, then the effect will be there. The connection is kept alive. This is very, very important. We have all, Papa has led us all to a stage where we should try to concentrate more and more on this aspect. Not that we are becoming indifferent to the outside. We will continue as we have been doing it before. But along with that, this dimension is also now brought in with greater force, greater intensity, greater thrust. How to go inward, each one has to do it. Though it may be very difficult, still when we went through Papa's inward journey, you will find there is a small book called Inward Journey, Small book called Inward Journey. So we just open such small books. Big books we cannot read, we cannot remember. So that is why he has prompted us to bring out small books. And in that small book, you will find among the various quotations. Don't worry. He said a stage should come when we should develop look without seeing, hear without hearing, eat without tasting. When we read that, so when we do that, how do we understand? When we are trying for an inward journey, any word of Papa, that will take us. But that approach should be there, at least for 5 minutes. Otherwise, we will be carried away by what we are doing outwardly. And outwardly activities will fade into, slowly it will fade. It will not have a deep impact. That is why Papa used to say that everything should come from within. Now the time has come for all of us to think about those words. Initially, nobody will be able to understand. But we have done enough, For decades now, we have been doing various types of sadhanas. It has made us to reach a certain stage in all of us. Now when he says, look without seeing, let us try to understand what exactly it is. So how is it connected to our Ramnam chanting? Look without seeing, hear without hearing, One interpretation could be, there could be so many interpretations. Actually, when we went through the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there the same word has been used. There, so many things have been added. Not merely look without seeing, even think without thinking. What does it mean? Something like that, we take it up every day. We may not be able to understand. We may not be able to concentrate upon it. Don't worry. But still an effort has to be made. This will all be promoting us, encouraging us, motivating us to go inward. Even if it's for a fraction of a second, it is worth it. Today we were discussing here. See, for example, when we say look without seeing, somebody has beautifully written, early morning when we go for a walk alone, we see various objects. It can be the expansive sky, it can be a rock, it can be a tree, it can be a flower. Immediately, we name it, But now then we pause for a moment. Suppose we see a rock. Rock is a label pasted on that object, is it not? When there is no language, language came later. So language, before the birth of the language, what would have been the labeling medium? We have no idea. But before that, the rock was there, So when we see anything, we see with the label. Think about it. We are trying to understand something about inward journey, It should be very, very clear. Then only we can say when we see a person, when we see the object, we try to see it with a label. So remove the label. Because we know that prior to the labeling, the object was the tree was there, or the rock was there, or the flower was there, or the sky was there. What was that? Simple. We don't have to bother about the answer. These are all some of the ways by which we try to go inward. What could be? It is true that when I was a child, I did not know that it was a tree. Then somebody told me it is tree, 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 tree. So this label was pasted on that object. When I was not knowing the alphabets, when I was not knowing everyone, my father or my mother, father, elders, friends, they started introducing me and they put a label, and then I started repeating that label, identifying the object with that label. But at the same time, I do not recognize that the thing was there even prior to the labeling. So what was there? Suppose the labeling is not there, what was that? These are all some of the ways by which we can go inward. Through Ramnam also we can try to go inward. When we try to repeat Ramnam, where from that sound comes, Ramnam is also a label. Papa says it stands for the one who is making me to chant. So prior to the language, Ramnam cannot be there. Whether it was in Sanskrit or in Pali or in any other language. But something was there, For enabling us to understand that label was put. We are all suffering now in spite of our decade-long sadhana, because we got stuck with the label. Whereas in Papa's case, he said, ceaseless chanting of the name coupled with meditating on the attributes. Now, are we trying to follow that? Ah. So, along with the name, just like along with the tree, we are trying to find out it was there even before this labeling. So even before Ramnam chanting, Ramnam was there. It is an expression through a language. Even before that expression, the truth is there. The truth has been named, has been labeled. So we are trying to find out the truth. When we got stuck with only the chanting, we were unable to. In certain cases, that name itself has taken them to the source. But we know from our life, from our experience, it has not taken us so far. So we have to develop some other method. And what is that method? We have to keep on trying inward. That is why he kept on harping with a hammer on our head, within, 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 within. We did not understand why he said within, within. Because we have heard many Mahatmas have scaled the heights by simply chanting. But we hardly forget that we are not chanting 24/7 with the right attitude, with the right perspective, with the right vairagya, dispassion towards any other thing. So the time has come for all of us now to go a bit more deeper into this. The Saguna Nirguna aspect, we should try to handle both, not leaving one another. Nobody will be able to remain in that state beyond the labeling state. Beyond the labeling state it was there, but we cannot be there for a longer time. So we have to come back to the label only. But labeling is done with the knowledge of what it stands for. Now we have just labeled and repeating it. That is why Papa says that lip level chanting, mechanical chanting, superficial chanting will not help us. So the time has come for all of us now to apply our mind deeply about this. Many of us have been repeating name, many of us have been going through Papa's teachings or various masters' teachings on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We used to repeat, in our Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manasmari Udvaja. What does it mean? We don't mean the literal meaning. At all times and in all places, remember me and fight the battle of life. Remember me, that me, What is that me? The me because of which, the word is that these things are uttered, So, now every word, every sloka, we try to understand the real meaning behind it. When we say Brahmanandam, Paramasukhatam, Kevalam, Jnanamurtim, Dandvatitam, Gaganasadrisham, Tattvamasyadiraksham, Ekam, Nityam, Vimalam, Achalam, Sarvadi, Sakshibhudam, Bhavatitam, Trigunarahitam, Sadgurum, Tam Namami. Each word we try. Pratasmarami, Hridi Samspurad Atmatattvam, Satchit Sukham, Paramahamsa Gadim Turiyam, Yat Swapana Jagara Sushutim Avedi Nityam, Tad Brahmam, Nishkalam, Aham Nachabhuta Sangaha. So the more we try to go within, so far we have been chanting it as an invocation, as a prayer, we have faith in that. But now we have found that we are still not becoming aware of His presence inside. So whatever he made us to do all these things, it was all the preparatory measures. We can't be satisfied with the preparatory measures alone. We have been quoting number of times Papa's words. We try to understand when he said you should go to him, the spiritual nakedness of the soul. When Puja Swamiji said we try to go back to our real home. What is that real home? And he also said that, we should go as naked as we started. So similarly, now all these things, just reading it and reproducing it, that stage is gone now. We have to take it forward. One side. Another side, we should be very clear, because none of us are whole time involved in a whole time basis. In the sense, none of us are aware of his presence on a whole time basis. Extra care should be taken by us. Though he is behind everything. Most of us, or none of us, or some of us are not aware of it throughout our waking period. So we have to do some extra effort to find this dimension also in all our efforts, at least in a few activities. In a few activities to begin with. One of the methods could be to go like this inward journey. Another one is to concentrate on the nama chanting, mental chanting, and find out the source from where the sound comes. When we are looking at the tree, we were mostly remembering the words of Papa in the dive deep within. Milanya Gadi Prabhuji, you might have heard, many of you. There he says the sadhaka and sadhya become one, the river and the ocean. What does it mean? The seeker and the sought to become one. The moment we say that, we used to go refer to the books. We stop there. We feel satisfied. Today's Satsang, it was very nice. We say that because it was touched and kindled in us. But beyond that, we don't go. How the seeker in me suddenly remembers that is the sought after. Or in our simple language, the starting point and the ending point is one and the same. When Mahatmas say that the starting point and the ending point is one and the same, we cannot understand, because we have understood that a starting point can never be the ending point. We start from this room to another room, from ashram to a compound, from this place to another place. How can we say that the starting point? It is difficult for us unless we understand. That which makes us to feel that we are starting is the one to be realized. That which makes us to feel that we have to start today, that power is the one to be reached. So that is why he said the sadhya and sadhana. So one poem of Papa. Any word. Now we will not just read it on the outer level and then very nice we will say, pass a remark. Mataji bluntly told, Ashram is a school. You come here to shower praises and compliments on Papa, but none. You are not trying to enter into the blissful nature of Papa, and you just go back. That means what she wanted to want, none of us are trying to go inward. Even you might all remember when we were doing the in-depth study of In Quest of God, we read out Puja Mataji's words. 11 times you should read. And why 11 times? She says Papa prompted her to say 11 times so that you will start going within. So this aspect has to be highlighted. We will continue with whatever outer activities, we cannot stop it. But every now and then we have to remind that ultimate, this is not going to serve us much if it is not supported by, coupled with an effort to go within. And each one, because God is within each one of us, He will guide us mysteriously as to how we should go within, provided we crave for it. We feel, I should go within. I should know Him. I must become aware of His presence. It is a must. Otherwise, we will be floating. Then we may be satisfied with that. Okay, some sentimental, emotional level, intellectual level. These two types of satisfaction we are getting, we may continue to get. But Papa clearly points out, as Papa's spiritual children, now he has made us to slowly understand his words. Previously, when we were reading, we were not understanding. When he said, the first thing you have to do is to go to the origin of your and the world life. Did we understand? When he said at the time of inauguration, universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity, now it is becoming clear, Whenever we find any commonness in anybody, commonness between us and the other person, between us and the other place. For example, this time we had the retreat in Seattle. It was in a lonely place. It looked exactly like Wayanad. Immediately we started telling them, same as Wayanad. The commonness. When we found that commonness, there is an affinity. So Papa wanted us to see this common factor in everybody. That is called divinity. And for which he said, you go to the source. Sit down. Source of your and the world life. Because the moment we become aware of the source, the same source is for everybody. So the commonness will be slowly, we will start realizing it. Beyond the exterior dynamics of the body, there is a common factor in all of us. So he wanted us to see, and that common factor is named as Ram, the subtle and mysterious power. And he wanted us to chant the name to remember him, to get connected to him, so that I will slowly get myself freed from that which blocks me from expanding. So that's why on the 15th May 1931, at the inauguration of the ashram, he had clearly mentioned the ideal of the ashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. The two sentences is enough. Previously, when we were reading it, some little understanding was there. Expanding, that much we know. Love circle expanding, that much we know. Everyone would like to love as many people as possible. But we have not been able to do so beyond certain level. So this word, when we reread it again, now Papa has slowly opened up now. He said, when he said divinity, divinity is that which is common in everybody. That is why I told you to go to the source of everything. He also made us to refer to Srimad Bhagavad Gita in 7 or 8 or 9 slokas, when the Lord keeps on, see, I am the source, I am the seed, I am the seed, I am the seed. Previously, when we were reading, probably we would not have understood its meaning. Now, in order that we understand the common factor, common denominator, he directed our attention to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where he kept on telling, Gadir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrid Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. Like that, no? So many sentences. Aham Bija Pratapitaha. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. So when we read that, when we understand the meaning, literal meaning, now we try to go, if you say I am the Bijam, how am I to understand? We will ask in our own language. We believe, we have faith in Shastras, we have faith in the words of our Master. So kindly make us understand experientially that you are the Bijam, you are the source. Though I have been repeating the name of the Bijam, I have not been applying my mind on that. Our master said, even you repeat, you get connected to it, but we have not been able to connect myself. What did he say when he was talking about Nama? Nama is the link between us and God. Even then we stopped with that. Link between something and something, What is that something? Nama we know, but when he said it is the link between us and him, what is that? Unless and until we go inward, how will we know it? And we don't know why Mataji stopped from 68, 69. There was an effort. We are all joined. At about 11 o'clock, we all go to the then Homa Mandir, where there won't be any image, there won't be anything else, where we sit on two sides. Half an hour we try to go within, in whatever way we choose. It can be silent Ramnam, it can be dwelling on Papa's thought. Mataji was leading us. But somehow it got stopped. Our shift was only on vocal chanting. Whereas Mataji's life we have gone through, where the final flight, after Papa subjected her to do the severest test along with Ramnam. Papa insisted that she should, now the time has come for her to go inward. And she refused. And Papa made her to know that unless and until you go inward, you will not have the direct perception of the truth. Then some of you might be remembering those words. Papa made her to sit in Kanhangad ashram, and the revelations Mataji had at that time, immediately the mind will not keep quiet. But how she was preparing and leading the thought, mind, towards the core of the being. Papa, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. No, you remember? All the pairs of opposites. You are truth, you are untruth, you are happiness, you are sorrow, like that, everything. And slowly, we read that all. But in her case, she was identifying, because mind, we always gurgling with thoughts. So every thought was identified like that, by telling, auto suggestion. And then when the sufficient preparation was done, slowly thoughts got arrested, thoughts settled down, And she was in that blissful state for hours together. If we remember right, more than 4 or 5 hours. And then Papa knew Mataji very well, so she might remain there. So Papa brought her back. She refused to come back. And then he said, for comprehensive realization of the reality, you must have both. So why we are remembering all these things? The importance of going inward. And when we are earnest and sincere, we have got the whole waking state is at our disposal. Even a second, in a part of a second, we can make use of for that. Getting ourselves connected to Him. We had so many concepts about God, so many concepts about spirituality, so many concepts about spiritual approach, methodology. Now it is all zeroing to what? No? Aware and becoming aware of His presence now and here. No? All prayers, when we read now, it will have a new meaning. Whether it is universal prayer, whether it is prayer for world peace, whether it is Thy glory, we find a new meaning, a new revelation. That everything is for making us to remember now and here. Not at a future date. Now and here, now and here, now and here. So we are now prompted to think on those lines. Whatever we do, we should be able to we should be praying within. You are making me to do, you are making me to think, you are making me to talk, you are making me to rest, you are making me to read, for the purpose of making me aware of your presence. Kindly make me aware. In whatever way you feel, I can understand. It can be in different forms, It's now and here, now and here. We will straight away now go to this. We were thinking about preparatory measures, what will happen with all those things. Now we will not think about anything else. We will try. So from tomorrow onward, during our Satsang period, we pray to Papa to give us input so that it gives a push towards our inward journey. Because that is the ultimate. Before He makes us to wind up our activities in this body, He must make us feel that it is He who is doing. Not like the individual, not like the son of so-and-so, husband of so-and-so, wife of so-and-so, grandson of so-and-so, friend of so-and-so, manager of so-and-so, CEO of so-and-so, trustee of so-and-so. No. Of His product. Before He takes the step of winding up this body, mind, intellect equipment, we are praying now. You make us feel you are there, you are there, you are there throughout. Now you give us that feeling in the form of faith. That is why when you make us to involve in various vyavaharic activities, we feel miserable, we feel restless, we are anxious, uncertainties, we feel ups and downs, we feel okay, that we have. So the only medicine by which we can cure all these is that we should know. Outwardly, we will exhibit all these things: anxiety, pain, everything. We will not change our style, but inwardly, just like the line drawn on the surface of the water. Initially, it will be there, but it gets settled. By making us to go within and go to the source of all sources. Again, coming back to that, looking at the tree, a stage might come when the label is removed. What happens, we will try. That will give a glimpse. So then we show, whenever the mind is prompted from within to think on those lines, to dwell on those lines, whether it is a laptop, whether it is a chair or a table or a building or a person or an object, for a split second, when we try to remove the label, what happens? Don't bring it into the ambit of thought, because again it is not that. That experience we will gain. It is one method, no? There could be so many methods, one method. Otherwise, why should he, in 2006 or 2007, when he prompted us to compile this inward journey, why should he direct us to this particular word? Look without seeing, hear without listening, eat without tasting. That is the stage you have to reach. Many people would have read it probably. We are trying to understand with the help of a thought, so look without seeing is something beyond the purview of thoughts. It will be difficult for us to understand. But now think, the time has come for us to understand. That is why Papa said, this is the thing you have to attain. We will try to read the before and after portion of that tomorrow, just for the sake of understanding. Because Papa, a most complicated theme, Papa puts it in a very simple form. That is the uniqueness. It is highly complicated. Just like when we open the switch box, outside it looks nice, so many piano switches are just touch. It is on off. But the moment you remove it, you will see so many wires, crisscrossing. You will not be able to make the head and tail of it. But the moment the outer cover is fixed, everything becomes clean. Similarly, Papa puts it in such a simple language. But when we try to go, it is highly complex. But we will not get disheartened because of the cover there. In simple words, he will put. We will try to go back to those, but at the same time, we request all of you to kindly join in this collective sadhana of going within and not our shifting our priority from the outer to the inner. We are moving toward the centenary of this ashram now. In another 8 years, and if we are in a position to dive deep within and get some pearls, Mataji would be the happiest person. Because during her lifetime, she was always because he is the mother of all, that nobody has really made use of the real purpose of this ashram. Not because she wanted to demotivate us, to again push us further. So she will be very happy before the centenary of this ashram, that is 2031. No? We do not know how far he is going to keep us all in body, but at least now he has given us the sankalpa that the real purpose, the fruition of our life should take place before this. Having been drawn and having been given all facilities, having facilitated so many things for us in a form that can be easily digested by us, understood by us. We will now keep on triggering this, praying to Papa within. You give us more and more clarity on the inner core of our being, because of which you make us to crave for the inner core of our being. The starting point and the ending point is same. Make us to realize that, please. We still feel we have to travel. Even when we put the word inward journey, the moment you said in journey, we still feel it is from stage A to stage B, or stage 1 to stage 2. But it is not. That is why in that short word, look without seeing, perceiving and labeling. It goes simultaneously. That is why we are unable to go within. Sri Ram. There is a gap between the Sri and Ram. We are unaware. Even in the Sri, S space R space I, Otherwise, it can't become different letters. So there is a space. Simple. So there is a space behind every sound, space behind every letter. So the substratum is very, very, very visible now. But the moment we read, we only read that. When we go to Samadhi Mandir, it has been beautifully written, the mantra there. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Every letter has got a space, But after Om, the space may be a little more longer than the other O and O. All these things point out to us the whiteness that is there behind every letter. Because we know there was only whiteness. There we got this print. And the letters were covering the whiteness, that's all. We have seen it with our own eyes. The printing was going on. We brought only the white slabs, and on which this was done, and the carving was done later by that artist. And every now and then, when the paint gets faded, we ask somebody to come and do it. We have seen it, but we have not applied our mind. It conveys a profound idea. So behind every word, behind every alphabet, there is a space. We are trying to, so far we have been seeing only the alphabets or the sound. Now we know it, but we don't know. That means we don't recognize it. We don't cognize, we don't recognize it. We know that, we have seen that. Everybody is looking at it, everybody knows. There is a base behind every alphabet, between the alphabets, between the words. But we are not recognized. So the time has come for all of us to apply our mind on those lines. And we pray to Him to make our journey intense, more and more intense. So from tomorrow onward, we will try our level best as he prompts from within. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Om Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
After 2.5 months.
After 2 months. 2 months.